Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Brandon here, aka Scourge of Vinyl, and today, another Check This Out episode. I wanted to get a little bit of content in because I've been insanely busy, and I'm going to continue to be busy, so just got back a few days ago from Psycho Las Vegas, which was absolutely insane. I didn't buy any merch because I fucking gambled all my money away. But that's fine. I had a great time. If you were there, you can vouch for me. I was either watching bands or sitting at a machine. So that was incredible. And then uh, very few people that watch this channel also know that I myself am in a band. We are called Nightfear. We just played a show in Philadelphia with Eternal Champion and our friends in Outer Heaven, which was one of the funnest shows I've ever played. And we're heading out west for the first time. We are playing in Ventura, California on September 7th with Downpresser, Misery, and a couple bands from out there, Slow Bleed, Liar's Tongue, and In Spite, I believe. It's a free show out in Ventura. It's a Friday night. Uh, if you live in that area, come out, have a good time. And then we are also playing in Tucson at Desert Dweller Festival. It's an honor to be playing in my hometown where I was born, Tucson, Arizona. Um, that festival is happening Friday, Saturday, Sunday, September 9th, 10th, 11th. And I think we are playing Sunday, September 11th. Sounds about right. I'm not entirely sure. My schedule is so fucking crazy right now, but we will be out in California. We will be out in Tucson, Arizona. So if you live out there, please come out. We're driving all the way fucking across the country for these two shows. If you're interested, you can hear our music on Bandcamp. I will leave a link. You can buy our CD from Black Market Metal Label. The tapes that Graven Earth Records have long been sold out. My friend Schnell filmed our first two songs from our show in Philadelphia. I will leave a link to his channel where you can watch that video. Just wanted to talk a little bit about my band since, most people don't seem to know that I'm in a band, and also, there's not going to be a whole lot of content on this channel because I have a lot of shit coming up. I'm going to try my best to squeeze in the next month's Metalhead box. I love doing those videos. I love getting those packages. So we'll see. But without further ado, I have a few records here that I really, really have been digging and I wanted to talk about. First, I'm going to start with a split. Two of my favorite death metal bands going right now, Undergang and Gorphilia. One song each, exclusive to this 7-inch. You all know Undergang by now from Denmark. Their last album, Misanthropology, was fucking outstanding. A top 10 record for almost everyone who loves death metal. But Gorphilia from Finland, I feel is a band that's flying a little bit under the radar. Their record from last year was my absolute favorite record of the year. So, people need to check out Gorphilia. This split was a must-have for me. It's just a black vinyl, very, simple center labels. But it's good shit from two great bands. This was released by, I think, Misako Unoho. Yeah. I got my copy from Dark Descent. You know the deal by now. Here's a release from 20 Buck Spin. This is Extremity with Coffin Birth. This is their debut full length after last year's incredible EP, Extremely Fucking Dead. Extremity from California come back with Coffin Birth. And I've listened to this a bunch of times, and for me, it's good. Believe me, it's good. But it doesn't come near as close to the feeling that I got from listening to Extremely Fucking Dead. I don't know why. Maybe it was because it was kind of a more compact, short, right to the point little package. But Extremely Fucking Dead blows this out of the water for me. This is still, like I said, a really cool album. If you like death metal, you're going to like Extremity. There's a ton of great bands coming out of California right now. For me, my favorite song on here is For Want of a Nail. That song is awesome. And then, there's like the beginning track starts off with an intro called Coffin Birth, and then it has an outro called Coffin Death. So, there's kind of a unique sort of thought process going in this songwriting where they came to the drawing board with a plan and they executed it here on this album. So it's a very cohesive sounding album. But I don't know. It's just not as furious and ferocious sounding as Extremely Fucking Dead, the EP, was for me. This one has been getting a shitload of praise. And, I can see why. It's fantastic. This is Burial Invocation with Abiogenesis. Again, released by Misako Unoho. This is a Turkish band who split up around 2012, I think. They had just released an EP and a split up, reformed, released their debut full-length album, Abiogenesis, this year, 2018. Dark Descent Records also released the CD version for this. And this is, very intense sounding death metal, and it's only 5 tracks. The songs are very long. Some of them are a little bit drawn out to me. I think they could have gotten away with shortening some of these songs. I would have been fine with a little bit shorter of an album. But all things considered, they pack as much as they can into 5 songs and deliver an absolute beast of a death metal album. And it's crazy that, after all that time off, they came back and just, bam, here you have it, Abiogenesis. Absolutely reeks of just putrid, awful sounding death metal. Great shit. It deserves all the praise that it's getting. It really does. I think that there's been, far better death metal records that have come out this year in 2018 than black metal. But coming up, I've got a couple black metal releases that really fight that notion. And the first is from Norway's Faust Coven. This is called In the Shadow of Doom. It was released by Nuclear War Now Productions. And this was honestly one of my most anticipated records coming out in 2018. As soon as I heard the first song that got put up on Bandcamp, I was sold. I couldn't wait for this to come out. It had been like 6 years since the last Faust Coven album. This might be their best work yet. And the packaging on this Die Hard edition is absolutely phenomenal. You have this, I really don't know how to describe this. It's not Coke bottle, but it's a very, very light shade of green. Matches great with the back cover. And then Die Hard came with a bunch of stuff. Sometimes I'll skip out on the Die Hard, but in this case, no way. There was just too much to offer. It comes with a short story. There you go. Which I haven't had the time to read yet, but it's 24 pages. Shouldn't take me more than half an hour to read, so I really should set aside time to read it. Came with a bonus 7-inch, which was really, this was, anytime you get extra music with the Die Hard, that's, that's what gets me. 2 songs, Old School War out of the Tombs edition, and then Chaos Descends, which is a Sirith Ungol cover. So that shit is awesome. And then a sticker. and a patch. Nice size on these. Nuclear War Now also made a shirt with this design on it that came out fantastic. But I have way too many fucking shirts. But anyways, Faust Coven, a Black Doom band from Norway. Their previous album, Hellfire and Funeral Bells, fantastic. This one surpasses it in my mind. A very, very unique sounding band. I can't, the closest thing that I can think of that sounds anything like Faust Coven might be Cult de Ghoul. But this is just way more doomy sounding, and it's... Black Doom sounds like it would be a weird combination, but this band just pulls it off so effortlessly and seamlessly, just blending those two genres together and creating a monolithic sounding album. I fucking love this album. I could sit here and talk about it for another 10 minutes, but I'm not going to. I've got two more that I want to talk about. This one from Finland's Morketida, and this is called Panphage Mysticism. This was released by Werewolf Records, who can't seem to stop putting out great fucking albums. This just black vinyl. Show you the center label on the second side. You have the Werewolf Records logo right there, which looks really cool. This is a debut material from Morketida. I don't think this band has released anything else besides this album, and it's Finnish black metal, but to me it doesn't sound like every other Finnish band. It doesn't sound like Horna, it doesn't sound like Sargeist. I don't want to say it's unique sounding, because it really it doesn't stand out too much, like they're not reinventing the wheel here. But for a Finnish black metal band, definitely refreshing to get this in the mail, expecting to hear straight up Finnish style black metal and getting something almost totally different. This is just a really cool album. Again, anything that Werewolf Records has been putting out lately has almost been like an instant purchase for me. So, if you haven't heard of this album and you're, in the mood for some creepy sounding, newer black metal, Morketida, Panphage Mysticism. Time for the random one that I'll do sometimes, and I've been listening to this album a lot lately. This is Beheaded with Ominous Bloodline. Unique Leader Records. I forget when this album came out. It says 2005 on here. This might be like a reissue that came out a little bit after this one came out, because it's definitely way older. But Beheaded, from the tiny island south of Italy, Malta. I fucking love this band's early material. Their later stuff, they changed way too much for me. This is their best album, in my opinion. Crowned with Repression, Esoteric Kin, Depths of Sore, the title track. Oh, brutal fucking death metal done right. Plenty of technicality, plenty of breakdowns, plenty of slams, awesome fucking riffs on here. Crowned with Repression has one of my favorite brutal death metal riffs, period, on it. And I gotta give a shout out to Eli, Dark Hymns of the Cold North. He was listening to this album in the background in one of his videos. I don't know, which one, I can't remember, but that got me on a huge Beheaded kick. I've been listening to a lot of their old albums, but this one especially. I fucking love this album. So, if you haven't heard of Beheaded, I definitely recommend starting with this one and start with the old shit, because it's fucking way better, in my opinion. But that's all for this video. Thanks for checking all this stuff out. If you feel like it, check out my band, Nightfear. And I don't know when the next video is going to be, because I got a lot of shit going on. But thanks, as always, for tuning in, liking, subscribing, all that cool stuff. And until the next time, take care.